Something extraordinary is approaching you with the dawn of the day. Close your eyes for a moment and feel this certainty coming closer. There is a silent movement occurring right now, even though your eyes may not yet be able to capture it. It is like the breaking of day, which silences the darkness of the night with its light, even after the longest night. God is preparing something special for your life, and it's not small. It is not common. It is grand. Something capable of transforming your financial life, healing emotional bonds, restoring your inner peace, and aligning your soul with a higher purpose. However, this change will not happen from the outside in. It will arise from a sacred reunion between you and your essence, between your soul and the spiritual truth that has long been trying to touch your heart. The world may have convinced you that something is missing, but today, I am here to remind you, everything you need already resides within you. The distance between the life you have and the life you desire is not due to a lack of blessings, but rather a misalignment between your energetic vibration and your desires. Today, we will work together to adjust that alignment. Let's reignite your faith, strengthen your conviction, and prepare your spirit to welcome what is already on its way. Are you ready to tune into the miracle that's approaching? Then breathe deeply and come with me. The dawn will be different this time. There are moments when something within us begins to transform silently, like the earth preparing to bloom even before the first seed sprouts. You feel a change in the air, a gentle and firm intuition, like a whisper of the soul saying, "Get ready, something grand is coming." But this transformation does not arrive with noise. It is not in a hurry. It moves subtly. It grows in the invisible. This is how God acts. While you rest, He is already organizing every detail. While you pray, He moves the heavens and the earth. While you wait, He builds paths where there were only abysses. What is coming is not ordinary. It is the answer to prayers you had long forgotten. It is the fruit of seeds planted a long time ago. And when the invisible harmonizes with your inner frequency, the miracle reveals itself naturally. Napoleon Hill said that the turning point happens just after the greatest adversity. This means that even when everything seems still, it is precisely there that change begins to sprout. But it is born from within. It starts with energy. It grows with faith. And it blossoms when the mind and heart decide to walk in union with the divine. Have you ever felt that time is preparing for something new? Like a new cycle is about to begin? This is not imagination. It is the tuning with what is being formed in the invisible. Now, more than ever, it's time to be awake, to align, to become receptive. And for that, we need to remember an eternal truth. Life does not respond to what you desire, but to what you emanate. What have you been emitting to the universe? The greatest human illusion is thinking that you need to chase what in fact is already inside of you. You don't need to search for love. You are love. You don't need to seek peace. Peace already resides in your spirit. Prosperity does not need to be earned. It has already been sown in your consciousness and is waiting for the right moment to bloom. The problem is not the lack of blessings, but the disconnection from your true essence. Jesus said, "The kingdom of God is within you." He was not talking about something external or material, but about a spiritual reality that dwells within you. You carry heaven inside of you, and from that heaven, your new life will begin. Napoleon Hill also said that anything the mind can imagine and believe, it can achieve. But to truly believe, you must break the habit of seeking externally. Because by believing you need to conquer something outside to be happy, you send the universe the message that you still do not possess what you desire. This creates a field of scarcity. What you seek already exists. It is simply waiting for your vibrational permission to manifest. And this permission occurs when you recognize, I already am, I already have, I already can. Breathe deeply now and say, I am complete. I am abundant. I am loved. These are not common phrases. They are sacred reminders of who you have always been before the world told you otherwise. Every transformation begins with this reunion, when you stop begging for blessings and start living as someone who has already been blessed. What would you do today if you were fully sure that everything you need is inside of you? Imagine someone who plants with faith, waters every day, talks to the seeds, but deep down, doubts that they will sprout. This is how many people live. They ask, affirm, visualize, but vibrate with anxiety, fear, and scarcity. And it is this internal incoherence that blocks manifestation. You can repeat the right words, follow the most powerful rituals, but if within you there is haste, doubt, or insecurity, the universe will notice. For it does not respond to words. It responds to your vibration. Energy never lies. Napoleon Hill taught us that the subconscious accepts any idea repeated with enough emotion. But if the emotion behind the repetition is anxiety, what reaches the subconscious is insecurity, not faith. It is like trying to tune a radio station and leaving the dial between two frequencies. The sound does not come through clearly. Sometimes the message is not understood. The tuning doesn't happen. The most common mistake is not in desiring little, but in desiring intensely while emitting a vibration opposite to what you want. It's saying, I trust, but going to sleep consumed by fear. It's affirming, I am prosperous, but panicking when facing any bill. This energetic misalignment is what prevents the manifestation of your desires. The good news is that it can be corrected. You have the power to align your words with your feelings. It's possible to clear mental noise and send the universe a clear, serene vibration full of trust. It all starts with an honest question. What am I truly vibrating when I close my eyes and ask for change? The answer lies in your body, in the way you breathe, in the emotions that accompany your thoughts. It's time to align. You need to feel as if what you desire is already real. The universe does not deliver what you want, but what you are ready to receive. There is an attitude that opens invisible paths, an inner state that changes everything, even when nothing has changed around you. This attitude is called anticipated gratitude. It's when you give thanks before things materialize. It's when you celebrate before seeing any result. It's when you recognize the existence of the miracle before it becomes visible. The great spiritual masters always knew this. Jesus, for example, before the multiplication of the loaves, raised his eyes to the heavens and thanked before abundance manifested. He knew gratitude is an act of faith, and faith is the force that shapes reality. Napoleon Hill stated that faith can be cultivated by repeating ideas, by self-suggestion. And among all forms of self-suggestion, the most powerful is this: I have already received. When you surrender to gratitude before the blessing, you send a clear message to the subconscious and to the universe. The process is already underway. You emit certainty. You create harmony. Gratitude before manifestation is one of the most genuine expressions of the spirit. While many beg from scarcity, those who thank before receiving access an abundance portal. They don't wait for circumstances to change to feel grateful. They are grateful. And then circumstances transform. This is not magic. This is frequency. Gratitude raises your vibration, breaks patterns of scarcity, and attracts more of what you already value. It's like watering a plant with the confidence that even though there is only soil now, flowers will bloom. Breathe deeply and declare with faith, "Thank you, God, for everything that is already on its way. I trust the invisible. I celebrate before seeing." This simple declaration moves forces you cannot even imagine. Receiving goes beyond desire. It is an energetic tuning, like a radio that can only play the right music when tuned correctly. Your soul needs to be vibrating on the same frequency as what you desire. Many people ask for blessings, but their energy is misaligned. They desire love, but feel rejected. They want prosperity, but carry guilt. They seek peace, but live in fear. The universe, being absolutely precise, does not respond to what is asked, but to what is vibrated. Napoleon Hill said that thoughts impregnated with emotion and faith have a magnetic power. This means that receiving starts much before materialization. It starts with your vibration. Receiving requires inner preparation. It demands letting go of resistance. It is a silent surrender that says, I am ready, I allow myself, I accept the good that comes. But it is at this point that many block the flow. Trapped in feelings of unworthiness, they believe they are not deserving of the life they dream of living. You need to understand something essential. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to fight for love, nor beg for abundance. You are already deserving. You have already been chosen. Receiving is above all allowing the best of life to find its home in you. It is trusting as someone who knows that the harvest will come because the soil was prepared with faith. Think for a moment, is my vibration aligned with someone who allows themselves to receive? This answer determines the course of your life. Nature doesn't hurry, and yet everything gets done. A seed does not become a tree overnight. A flower does not bloom under pressure. God's time is not measured by the clock. It is perfect, silent, precise. But for the anxious mind, this time seems to take too long, and it is in this interval that many give up. They give up not because the dream was impossible, but because they didn't know how to wait with faith. Napoleon Hill also said, persistence is the element that turns desire into reality. And to persist in this case is to keep your energy high, even when nothing has changed in the external world. It's believing when everything around you seems still. It's trusting that, although invisible, something is being built. Would you trust a plant that has not yet sprouted, but is forming roots? Because that's exactly what's happening with your desires. While you pray, visualize, and cultivate faith, roots are being planted in the invisible. The foundation is being structured. Divine timing takes your inner preparation into account. And often, what seems like delay is simply protection. It is God strengthening you, shaping you, preparing you to receive what's coming with wisdom. Anxiety weakens the vibrational field. Impatience breaks the link of manifestation. But patience that trusts, that rests in faith, builds a strong bridge to the miracle. Trust, keep planting, keep thanking, keep vibrating as if you already have. Because when everything is ready, inside and out, what is yours will come at the right time, with strength, with clarity and love. There is a spiritual truth that few truly absorb. The outer world is nothing but the reflection of your inner reality. You do not attract what you desire. You attract what you are. And understanding this completely changes the way you live. Most people wait for external conditions to change before they feel at peace, happy, or fulfilled. But the true path is the opposite. When you transform your thoughts, emotions, and energy from within, the world around you begins to reflect this new frequency. Jesus said, "Let it be done according to your faith, not according to your need nor your efforts, but according to the faith that silently vibrates within you." Napoleon Hill called this the dominant state of consciousness. What you feel most, think most, and believe most becomes the foundation of your reality. Therefore, if you are always feeling anxious, small, or frustrated, the universe will reflect exactly that. But if, even before any external change, you choose to vibrate confidence, gratitude, love, and abundance, your energy rises and your field around you begins to transform. Manifestation doesn't start when something comes to you. It starts when you become the version of the person who already lives that reality. So, today, decide to live as someone who is already on their way. Speak as someone who already trusts. Feel as someone who has already been blessed. Act as someone who has already received. This coherence between what you feel and what you express is the key that opens invisible doors, and the universe will inevitably respond to your new internal vibration. It was a day like any other. A simple woman, a janitor at a school with few financial resources, many bills, and no clear prospect of change. But she carried something special, an unshakable faith that something extraordinary awaited her. She had no material possessions, no contacts, and no academic background, but she possessed a treasure that few cultivate. A mind focused on gratitude and a spirit strengthened by inner certainty. Every morning, while cleaning the classrooms, she would repeat to herself, "I am prosperous. The universe blesses me every day. My work has value. My future is grand." She began to act like someone who already lived in abundance. She bought with gratitude, cared for herself with love, and walked with the posture of someone who had already succeeded. And then, changes began to happen. People noticed her presence. A teacher asked what she did to maintain such lightness. Another colleague recommended her for a private cleaning job. Quickly, her schedule was full of new clients. And that was just the beginning. Over time, she found the courage to open a small domestic service business, trained other women, created a support network, generated jobs, and became a reference in her community. All of this was born not from something that changed outside, but from an inner transformation. She understood that abundance begins within us. That's why, even before having, she already was. Even before reaping, she already vibrated as if she possessed. And the universe, faithful to what she transmitted, responded. Napoleon Hill said that positive thinking, when sustained, turns into faith, and faith, when combined with action, transforms any path. That woman didn't have luck. She had awareness. And this awareness that you already are comes before any visible achievement. You do not attract what you dream. You attract what you are. This is one of the most powerful laws of creation. The universe does not react to words. It responds to your vibration. And vibrating something goes far beyond repeating affirmations. It's embodying the energy of what you desire, now, in the present. Want more love? Be love. Want peace? Become peace. Want prosperity? Act as someone prosperous, even if you haven't yet seen the fruits. Napoleon Hill taught that the mind attracts everything it is in tune with, and to be in tune, it is necessary to vibrate at the same frequency as what you are seeking. It doesn't help to desire something and feel distant from it. You must decide to be now what you want to live in the future. This is true faith, living today as someone who has already received tomorrow. Want confidence? Walk with firmness. Want respect? Start by respecting yourself. Want opportunities? Pay attention to the energy you bring to environments. Everything in you communicates, your voice, your posture, even your most intimate thoughts. And the universe notices all of it. It listens not just to what you say, but to what you feel when you say it. Become now the energy of what you desire, and watch reality transform around you. Don't wait for the miracle to happen to change your energy. Change your energy, and the miracle will become inevitable. When you tune into your desires, everything around you begins to reorganize to meet them. True abundance doesn't end with you. It flows through you. Everything divine moves in cycles. The water nourishes the river, which feeds the sea, which returns to the earth through rain. So it is with love, money, wisdom, and faith. When you try to hold everything just for yourself, the flow is interrupted. But when you share, the cycle is completed and expands. Napoleon Hill stated that true wealth comes to those who transform it into an instrument of contribution. In other words, the more you use what you have to elevate others, the more the universe trusts you as a channel to receive even more. Be generous. with your words, with your time, with your listening, with your resources. You don't need to be rich to be a blessing in someone's life. A gesture, an attentive listening, a silent prayer, or a shared teaching, all are seeds of light that you plant in the invisible field of the Spirit. And the most fascinating thing is that by sharing, you reinforce within yourself the certainty of abundance. After all, no one gives what, deep down, they do not believe they possess. By donating, you affirm to your subconscious, I have, I am, I can. This internal recognition raises your vibration, and the universe responds accordingly. The energy of true abundance is expansive by nature. It wants to circulate, grow, touch more lives. And when you become an instrument of this expansion, everything around you begins to align. Perhaps you are waiting to receive more before offering something to another, but what if the secret is precisely in offering first? What if what you most desire only blooms when you first plant it in someone else's garden? Abundance that is shared returns multiplied, always, at some point, in some way. So, if this content has touched your heart, spread this light. Share it. Sometimes a simple gesture from you can be the answer to someone's prayer. Your presence here is no coincidence. Along this journey, we access profound truths that have always lived in you, just waiting for the right moment to awaken. And that moment has arrived. Something grand is coming toward you, but this something doesn't just come to change numbers in your bank account or renew your relationships. It comes to align you with your essence, with your true self, with your sacred origin. But before receiving something extraordinary from the external world, something even greater must be awakened inside of you. You already know, change doesn't begin in circumstances. It is born in vibration. It begins when you choose to feel before seeing, to thank before receiving, to trust before understanding why. Napoleon Hill said that every process of achievement begins with desire, but now you know. When desire is impregnated with faith and wrapped in gratitude, it becomes a powerful vibrational code. And when this code is emitted, the universe responds without hesitation. Today, you received more than words. You received keys that open invisible doors, keys to access higher levels of consciousness, serenity, and prosperity. Now, take a deep breath. Feel this quiet certainty growing within you. Feel that something is already moving in your favor. Do not question, do not delay, do not doubt. Live as someone who has already received. Speak as someone who already possesses. Thank as someone who has already embraced. A new dawn is approaching, bringing with it a renewed version of your life. More abundant, more conscious, more connected to the source of all. You no longer need to search outside. Just remember who you are and live this truth with all your soul. If this message has touched your spirit, declare now with intention, I am ready to receive what is already mine. Write it, declare it. This is more than a comment. It is a vibrational confirmation. It is the first step of a new cycle. And if you want to help more people awaken this power, share this message. You may be the turning point in someone's life. Remember, you attract what you are. And now you are abundance, you are faith, you are peace. The new day has already begun. And what is coming is greater than you imagine.